Their first engagement in Central River region was a courtesy call at the governor's office where members of the association briefed the deputy governor about their mission, which focused on knowledge sharing.
Affects the hazards that we are getting from climate change, and then share amongst us some of the innovations that we make to be able to cope with the issue of climate change. Because in climate change we are talking about resilience, we are talking about adaptation. So because the farming system has changed, and it has changed drastically, so we have to change our farming methods so that we are able to cope with it. Otherwise, climate change is irreversible. It is happening in various ways. It's very complex, but we still need to survive. So we have to change our farming systems to be able to cope with it.
From there, members of the National Farmers Platform headed to Jahali rice fields to receive firsthand on what is hindering rice production and adaptive methods.
Selected about 15 farmers across the country. All the regions are represented here, purposely for farmers to learn from each other. We've select model farmers, we've telling ecologies where production is affected by climate change. We want to look at those ecologies, how the farmers are mitigating or they are adapting themselves to such things. We talk about it so that the farmers on the ground that we brought also can emulate the same when they go to their own regions and their own farmlands. And the model farmers are doing very well.
Here at the Jahali fields, the team gathered some of the major challenges like silted water canals before wrapping up at making water gates currently under rehabilitation through the Rice Value Chain Transformation Project.
Those fields are actually abandoned for almost 5-6 years. Farmers are actually deprived from cultivating in those fields. So why? Because I think one of the key issues is the land management, especially working on the water canals. It's not well done. Okay, the crossways, the water canals, the barriers that should control the flow of water in the rice fields are not actually maintained. But luckily today we saw at least one of the areas that agriculture, one of the projects is working on to ensure that the flow of water is controlled.
From there, the team traveled to Boiram village to visit farmer Babukar Boy, who cultivated maize. Their farmers had the chance to exchange some farming techniques. The farmer-to-farmer information sharing field trip is championed by the Food and Agriculture Organization.
It's actually to support if farmers can be supported so that some of those rice fields are rehabilitated to boost the production of farmers, especially rice, because this area used to be the rice basket for the Gambia, really. So we want it to be revived so that we stop importing rice from overseas.
National Farmers Platform's delegation concluded its activity of the day in Central River region with a visit at the Mahmoud Fana Vegetable Garden, having first-hand on the production taking place at the garden. Maud Lamin Sane reporting for GRTS News from the Central River region.